Marcus Burnett. He's Brandon Clay. We appreciate you joining us here on the BCS Report with, you guessed it, Brandon Clay and Marcus Burnett. Brandon, we'll cover a lot of different questions and topics here on what we do, but I think the first and most important one to start off with is why are we here? What are we doing?
It's a chance to put a visual along with some of the things that we say. We do a lot of things article-wise, peachstatebasketball.com, game-wise, broadcast-wise, the SUVTV.com. Well, how do we bring it all together and tie it all together, Marcus? So from grassroots to college to pro, men's, women's, it doesn't matter. If it's basketball, we're going to touch it. And every now and again, we might get into some other sports as well. It's NFL free agency. We could touch that. I'm a huge Falcons fan, so who knows what we'll get into. But that's the basis of why we're here and what we're bringing to the table.
A lot has been brought to the table. Let's jump right into a topic. The Golden State Warriors are the top of everybody's mind with the way that they're ripping through the league. And they lost to not the Thunder, not the Cavs, not the Spurs. They lost to the Los Angeles Lakers here over the past week. Your thoughts on that?
That's a law of averages thing. No need to get too high, too low on that. I know everybody's got them chasing the Chicago Bulls, and rightfully so. This is a group that has shown game in and game out, even down to Steph Curry's 38-foot jumper to win the game against OKC in overtime, which might be one of the greatest shots in regulation basketball, if not in basketball history. He was cool, calm, and collected, but they were due for a loss. Now, the Lakers, that's not a good loss. Let's make sure we get that across. But they were due for one. So when you look at the numbers in that game, those guys looked very average, and it's rare that they all look average at once. You got Steph, you got Klay Thompson, you got Draymond Green, you got three guys that at any point in time would be max contract guys on any other roster in the league, and they all had a tough night on the same night. Steph, 6 for 20 from the field, 1 for 10 from the three-point line. There are nights that this guy's shooting 10 for 13 from the three-point line. It happens. So I get it. There's so much time and space and so many different shows out there to fill airtime, but no need to panic, Golden State fans. Y'all are going to be just fine. And for an LA team that's sending Kobe Bryant on his way this year, what a great win. Point blank. You saw those guys dap each other down, Kobe and Steph, that is, and it's been a great run for him. I actually saw on Jalen and Jacoby the other day, they talked about Kobe shooting 28% from the three. Not Kobe Bryant-like, but we're getting a very different Kobe Bryant than years ago. But this was very vintage in terms of big game. His teammates rose to the occasion. A young kid like Jordan Clarkson out of Missouri played out of his mind. 10 for 21 from the field, finished with 25 on the night, 4 for 7 from the three. And you need that type of performance. And one more, Marcus, Julius Randle from the Lakers is one to keep an eye on. The former Kentucky Wildcat. Really been doing his 1-2. Actually have him on my fantasy team. I'm feeling great about that. Had a huge night, 12 points, but 14 rebounds. So, perfect storm. No need to worry out there at the Oracle Arena. Everything's okay.
And we mentioned how Kobe wasn't the same Kobe. I think, things were bad out of the gate here this season, and everybody called a spade a spade. But it's that new transitional Kobe as he kind of rides off into the sunset that really allows us to see some of those young guns that you mentioned able to take form and get a win like this. If Kobe doesn't take that elder statesman role of, okay, I would like to go get it myself, that's not the age or phase that I'm at right now, so let me make sure I mentally prepare these young guns to go get it. You're seeing that goal being brought to fruition. Great games from Clarkson, Russell, Randall. Some good things brewing there in LA.
No question. Well, D'Angelo Russell's another one we got to touch on. I know we caught a lot of flack early in the year, especially as well as Karl Anthony Towns has played, as well as Okafor's played in Philly, despite some of the off-floor things that he's gone through during his rookie season. And Russell's starting to turn the corner, Marcus. You're starting to see now why he was such a high value coming out of Ohio State this past spring in the draft lottery, and why the Lakers took a chance on him as opposed to Okafor. Not necessarily right or wrong, but they felt they had a different need. Obviously, Randall's come back. Randall played all of 5 seconds, before hurting himself in that initial game during his rookie season. So you've got 2 rookies now between Julius Randle and then with Russell, and then a young guy in his own in Clarkson now, who make up the nucleus of that team, and they're starting to show some good things. Obviously, the onus will be on Lakers ownership to add to that during the offseason and continue to build, but they're going to have some cap space now. You talk about Steve Nash's contract that's gone, Kobe's contract, which is going to open up a whole vacuum of space financially, and LA is still LA. Let's not get that twisted. If Joe Johnson's willing to go to Miami and chill on South Beach, somebody's going to be willing to come to LA and hang a Staples Center and an LA Live on Friday and Saturday nights.
And then a big thing that I think that game reminded us of is at the end of the day, these professionals are going up against professionals every night over the course of an 82-game season. They say sometimes you get the Bears, sometimes the Bear gets you. The Bears going to come hunting at some point in time during an 82-game season.
Well, when you look at all the games that Golden State has won, the comebacks over OKC, where OKC's led in the fourth. I mean, it literally were due for one. Again, you did not think it would be LA, the Lakers that is, maybe not the Clippers when Blake's healthy. If somebody put some money on that, they made themselves a couple of dollars. But it's just part of the landscape, man. And every year people talk about, could the Kentucky Wildcats beat the Philadelphia 76ers? You know, whoever the worst team is in the league, could the best college team beat those guys? And more times than not, the answer to that is no. And this is exactly why. You know, if the Lakers are one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the league statistically, and this is arguably the worst loss in regular season history statistically, this shows you exactly why it's so important at the pro level to still have pieces. And we want to make sure we shout out before we head off the air, Marcus, our production team. You're going to be able to hear them doing cool things and snippets and clicks and all kinds of stuff in the background as we get pictures and documentary for Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm really excited about the whole concept. I think we got something special here.
That makes 2 of us, which is why we got to cut it short because we can go on for days. But appreciate you joining us here and looking forward to more coverage. The BCS report, Brandon Clay, and Marcus Burnett.
Nene Jim is home.